empowerment. Then we allocate resources elsewhere. Now that we are challenged, we reach out for those familiar faces. But Minister, the Speaker of Parliament is a woman. There are female MPs. So what's the point? Why is she making it a big deal? But things are changing, however, at a snail's pace. Nevertheless, what's the essence of inequality? Gender equality. However, as per the UNICEF Gender Equality Glossary of Terms and Concepts, gender equality refers to a concept where boys and girls have a full potential to showcase their ideas, they are treated with the same rights, they have the same opportunities, and they are given the same platform to expose themselves. All genders perform at their potential under the heaven of gender equality. Now, gender equality is the vehicle that fuels social and economic progress of a country. Social and economic progress of a country is simply the growth and the well-being of the economy in a nation. Such progress in a nation is measured by indicators such as the gross domestic product, literacy, and high levels of employment. Now, when ideas, opportunities, and rights aren't tied to gender roles, what's the impact in our society? We shall experience an increase in the labor force, since more individuals will be exposed to employment opportunities. Women will have a chance to go to work, men will have a chance to work in an organization, and we shall have no challenges of insufficient labor force. And also furthermore, there will be hundreds of entrepreneurship. When women are given the right education, when men are exposed to the opportunities to be able to set up businesses, to set up investments, we shall have high rates of entrepreneurship, and it will lead to the progress of the economy. And furthermore, when gender equality is promoted and developed, it will foster the social and economic progress of our economy in a way that it reduces poverty and it increases in the gross domestic product. When both men and women step out to work, they earn and bring incomes home, which increases the standards of living within the homestead. And as per a study carried out by the European Institute for Gender Equality, improving advocacy for gender equality could lead to an increase in the European Union gross domestic product per capita by 2050 from 6.1% to 9.6%. That's a significant increase that would drive the social and economic progress of a country positively. Thus, gender equality fuels the economic progress of a society. Furthermore, it leads to better governance and leadership. As we witnessed the previous head of Kampala Capital City Authority, Jennifer Musisi, there was a high level of organization around Kampala Capital City while she was in power. And gender equality also promotes access to better mental health education, encouraging a healthy and work-life balance, hence contributing to one's social life and fostering social progress in a country. Because people are exposed to situations where their needs are heard, their mental health issues are cared for, and that will progress the social and economic development of a country. However, when we ignore gender equality, we dent the social and economic progress of the nation in a way that there's an increase in stress and mental health challenges, and it will lead to a failure to perform at work, thus affecting our economy. According to a recent research carried out by the National Sexual Harassment Center, 42% of the sampled male who were respondents assented to being victims of sexual harassment, and it greatly affected their performance at work. These men weren't able to confidently and efficiently contribute to their economies. So it's important to note that gender inequality, once gender inequality is erased, men will be able to seek help in terms of stress because they are able to express their vulnerability easily, rather than it being branded a woman's thing. So the big question is, once these constraints constraints are encountered. What are these constraints that we encounter as we are trying to pursue gender equality? One, we experience a challenge of shortage of funds. We experience a challenge of few role models, and also unconscious bias. Each of us here is one of the reasons as to why we are not leading to an end to gender inequality. So the biggest solution to this challenge includes lobbying for funds from the government and encouraging gender inequality education among schools to create awareness of the social impact and the economic impact gender inequality has on our nation. Ultimately, gender equality isn't charity. It isn't a favor done for women. It's a strategy. It's a solution. It's a catalyst for economic growth. Because when a woman thrives, communities, societies, families prosper. This isn't just about fairness. It's economics, it's development. If we truly care about our economy, why are we still begging for gender-sensitive policies in 2025? Why is equality a slogan and not a standard? This is an eternal debt placed on each and every one of us to ensure that we put an end to gender inequality. Let the old story end here, and let the new story be different. Thank you.
Thank you. Allow me to invite the next candidate, Maganda Harrison.
Thank you very much for the opportunity granted. My name is Harrison Richard Maganda. I'm a student of law from Uganda Christian University, Mukono, and I'm in my third year. Imagine what the world would be if half of it was silence. On the 1st of November, 1955, was a lady named Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks rode on a crowded bus in Alabama, that is in the United States. And while she was having this ride, the bus driver realized that there were white passengers standing in the aisle. So she went ahead and told Rosa Parks and other Black Americans to give up their seats so that the whites could sit. 3 of them complied, but Rosa Parks did not comply. And as a result, she was fined $10. Rosa Parks did not pay this money. She appealed the conviction. And on 5th December, the same year, there was a boycott done on the bus company's policy on racism. Then Rosa Parks on 14 November the following year, 1956, the US Supreme Court declared that the action of the bus company was unconstitutional. And because of Rosa Parks' action of not giving up her seat, civil rights were birthed in the United States. Rosa Parks was not asking for special treatment. She was asking for equal treatment. That as white men and women sit while in the bus, so should Black men and women sit in the bus. I'll give another example. Malala Yousafzai is a Pakistan activist. well known for her advocacy towards educating the girl child. Malala's father was a teacher, is a teacher. And he ran a girls' school, and as a result, Malala was educated. However, this is where the challenge comes. That when the Taliban take on authority in Pakistan, they ban girls from attaining education. So, because of this, Malala goes ahead to advocate for girl child education in Pakistan. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Malala was not asking for special treatment. She was asking for equal treatment. That just as the boy child goes to school, so should it be for the girl child. Imagine how the world would be if her poet was silenced. Now, would the citizens of America, specifically in Alabama, have an equal or an even alignment? So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been delivering this speech this afternoon, not seeking special treatment, but have been seeking equal treatment. Thank you.
Thank you, Harrison. We shall have Thompson Victor Isaac.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thompson Victor Isaiah, a law student from Kampala International University. Driving social economic progress through gender equality. And today, I stand for something simple yet powerful: gender equality. Since morning, everyone is talking about it. Gender equality, a woman, a girl child, a boy child, a man, equality, equal opportunities for a girl child and a boy child. Gender equality isn't about making women stronger or men weaker. It's about giving everyone, regardless of that gender, the same chance to dream, the same chance to be in school, the same chance to speak, and the same chance to be able to dream and achieve what they want to have in life. I stand before you today with a heart that carries the silent cry of many, not just of girls, but of boys as well. A girl has fought bravely for her space in society, but also of the boy who struggles too have been forgotten. Yes, today we speak of gender equality, a powerful force that drives social economic progress in Uganda and around the world. But allow me for the moment to shift your gaze. Let us turn not away from the girl child but towards the boy child who stands quietly in the shadows, waiting, hoping, and yearning to be seen. In the righteous battle to uplift the girl, we have made strides while celebrating. We have opened doors for education, where girls have been able to obtain education from the early years, looking at Article 22 that provides for affirmative action. The affirmative action came in because of their history, how girls were treated in the African traditional society. It was a different case back then, that girls were not given an opportunity to go to school, girls were not given an opportunity to participate in politics. But currently, things have changed and it's evident. Girls are in school, girls are in power, girls are graduating, women are in politics. It's a live example from the former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Kada, she's a woman. The current Speaker, she's a woman. The Vice President of Uganda is a woman. Right Honorable Nabanja, the Prime Minister of Uganda, is a woman. It is evident that women have been uplifted. The struggle with that uplift women is not negotiable at any moment, because the women were treated in the African traditional society is exceptionally different from the women are being treated in the current society. So it's on a girl child. It is on you that how are you, the opportunities that are provided for you, how are you looking at them? Are you there? Will you be able to grab these opportunities that are there for you? Because when you are establishing employment opportunities in the newspaper and in the gazette, they do not specify that this is for a male and this is for a female. Those types are there, both male and female. So, but somehow along this journey, we have left someone behind. And this is about child. One seen as a natural leader in a community because he was labeled as someone masculine, strong, and his crimes have been dismissed. As a driving to social economic progress, when I think of gender equality, we have to look both a girl child and a boy child. Our society is slowly, surely creating a new gender imbalance. Once the girl is guided, mentored, and shielded, while the boy is expected to find his own way through silence, pressure, and pain. He's told to be strong. Who teaches him how? He's told to be back. Who prepares him? He's told to cry. He's told not to cry. But his pain, go. This is not gender equality, it's gender in silence. As a towards the drive of gender equality, we need to focus more and more that if we are empowering a girl child, we need to empower a boy child as well. Look around you. This activity was tailored for all genders, both a girl and a boy. I beg, look around you. How many girls are in the building and how many boys are in the building? The high number of people in the building are men, or they're the boys. Just because you have, you look at the opportunities and miss the opportunity. So if the boys are aggressive to grab the opportunity, and just because of the history you have, you want to sit to be spoon-fed, it's a different thing. We are in a generation where if you want something, go for it, grab it. Our prisons are filling with young men. In Uganda, the highest rate of inmates is male. And the number is 95%. The 95% of prisoners in Uganda are men. Why? To ask why are many prisoners right now in Uganda, why are they there? And if you make research from the prisons, 95% are from the age of 18 to 35. Why our policy is not put onto ground to question why is that we are having a high rate of prisoners in prison? Now it was questioned that why are girls not in schools in 1995? That was the question, why girls are not in school, and it was addressed. Right now girls are graduating, girls are into big offices, but right now men are in prison and the government is quiet. I speak not against the girl child, but for the boy child too. Because one cannot rise while the other falls. A girl needs a brother who understands her word, not a broken man who fears her strength. A woman needs a partner, not a wounded soul seeking power through pain. If we truly believe in gender equality, let us remember equality is not favor, it's fairness. It's creating safe spaces for a child. A 5-year-old boy, same opportunities for a 5-year-old girl. We cannot oppose it, we cannot oppose nature. You get it? Because girls are blinded that when I get into teenage, I'll have to express myself. Period. You get it? It is nature. You don't oppose nature. Be aggressive, go for it. Education is there for you, go for it. If you truly believe in gender equality, Uganda cannot thrive without her sons. And our daughters deserve brothers who are empowered. The higher dropout rate among boys is due to forced labor. You can all witness that if you go to the markets, you will find women from the age of 30 to the age of 40 selling food. You get it? But you're going to realize that young boys are border riders in Kampala, which is a terrible thing that you are having a high rate of dropouts who are boys. Research from the Tropical Hospital and the World Organization report indicates that young men in Uganda are increasingly affected by depression and substance abuse. However, there are a few healthy mental outreach programs specifically targeted for the boy child. Men are forced to provide without support. Culture remains as a to provide. And many young girls now in the environment do not have the sources to provide. Because many sources are directed to our child. So as a tool is trying to social economic progress, they did not be only on the girl child, but I can also put into consideration of the boy child. As I conclude, where should a boy child run to? What should a question to put into consideration? This thing has been overlooked. His tears are mocked. His cries are dismissed with the word manner. Right from home, manner. Men don't cry. Men don't feel vulnerable, which is a terrible thing. Let us be the generation that refused to ignore the silent struggle. Let us be the research that love will reach out. Because in the end, gender equality is not just about empowering women, it's about restoring humanity. For the girl child, for the boy child, for the nation, let us rise together. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. We shall have another candidate. He is by name so Asimwe Dan.
Content Momojawa.
Distinguished guests, staff of Uganda Martyrs University, the students' body, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Mumbere Asimwe, a student from Kampala International University, pursuing a bachelor's of law. Here this afternoon to present to you a speech on gender equality, on the role of gender equality as a tool for social economic progress. Imagine we have two farmers having the same piece of land, having the same tools, and having the same seeds to plant. Looking at the fact that we are now in the rainy season, you instruct them to plant. But then the other farmer, you tell them, now for you are going to plant half of your land. And then tell the other one, we are going to plant all of your land. When you drive it back to the national scale, we are having lots of women that are capable, intelligent, that can drive us to socio-economic progress. But then they have been left to cultivate half of an acre of land. Where does this leave us as a country? Who is going to deliver more? Absolutely, that is going to be the male counterpart. So where does this leave us now? Where is gender equality? When you look at SDG number 5, that came into place, that was in 2015 by the United Nations. It's all about gender equality. uplifting the status of the culture, uplifting the status of women. Ladies and gentlemen, socio-economic progress can be defined as the combined improvement in a society's economic well-being and social development. Gender equality is not just a human rights issue. It's a growth strategy. When we empower women, we empower our economies. According to the United Nations, achieving gender equality is essential for sustainable development. When we look at the figures, they tell us that 25 women that are in the age of 25 to 54 years, it's only 61% that are in the job market. And 90% is done by men. That was according to the United Nations Women Report. However, we must recognize that gender equality is not just an economic imperative. It is a fundamental right. Malala Yousafzai said that I raise up my voice so that I can shout, but so that those without the voice can hear. When we elevate women's voices and empower them, we enrich the nation. If you've looked at Oprah Winfrey, she was born in 1954 in Mississippi to a poor single mom. Oprah migrated to Tennessee and she was living with her dad was a father. It was unfortunate that she became pregnant at the age of 40 and lost her baby. She lost hope and she thought that was the end of it. But she stood her ground as a woman and thought that now I really need to do something. I need to stand up like the men do. There is a lot I can do by myself. She got employed at a radio station as a columnist anchor. As time went on, she elevated to a TV show. In 2007, she was ranked as one of the most famous and influential African women in the globe. My question to you, ladies, what would you have that would help you attain what Oprah Winfrey attained, having gone to a single poor mother? Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of the United Nations, said that there is no tool for development that is more effective than the empowerment of a woman. It is not just a statistic, it is a reality that has been proven in numerous studies. Countries that embrace gender equality see economic growth, strong governance, and more societies. Of recent Namibia had elections, and their current president is a female. She has appointed the vice president as a female and the prime minister. We are going to see a lot of change coming in, lifting that status of a woman. If you remember the story I started up with, a man has an acre to plant, a woman has a half an acre to plant. But Namibia now is changing the narrative. No, let the woman have an acre to plant and we see what change is this woman going to bring towards social economic progress. Ladies and gentlemen, despite progress in gender equality, many African countries still struggle to translate gains into economic transformation. According to the Center for Economic Transformation, the relationship between gender equality and economic growth reveals the progress that equality is uneven across regions and sectors. We look at this room, on the scale of 1 to 10, men are taking 8, the girls are taking 2. So how are we really going to ensure that we promote gender equality? When you go to government ministries, most of the positions are occupied by the men. Reason being, they believe that the men are efficient enough at work. But then no, we want to change the narrative. We have intelligent women, we have women that can work hard. We have women that have stood out for themselves. Why don't we give these women equal opportunities like the men do?
and we shall see what change we are going to have. The National Resistance Movement has 4 principles, of which, among others, we have socio-economic transformation. Under socio-economic transformation, the NRM government has come up with several initiatives to empower women under the Ministry of Gender. We have a women fund that is aimed at skilling the women and ensure that they have access to funds to help them improve their entrepreneurial skills and also set up businesses that will boost their status to that of men. We also have a youth livelihood fund under the Ministry of Gender. This is focusing at youth, but mainly looking at the culture that has been abandoned for years, back in the African tradition. A man owned on the property. The woman will cultivate, take care of the children, but she can't participate in business. The other people say, no, we need to change the narrative. We have the opportunities as men. Let the women go and engage in businesses and see what socio-economic progress we can have in the country. And that's the mission government wants to achieve by 2040. That's why we have Vision 2040 by the ruling government. Ladies and gentlemen, however, gender equality alone is insufficient to drive economic transformation. As the government, as society, we need to implement policies to integrate women into high-value sectors and decision-making roles that is critical. If we look at our government, we are having the Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Olupo. We have the Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Nabanja, who was last year elected as one of the most influential leaders in Africa, if you have been following the things. We have had male Prime Ministers serving, but none of them has ever been ranked as one of the influential male leaders in Africa. So that means that now, Rachel has the capacity, she has the knowledge, she has the ideas to elevate the status of society, to bring about social economic progress in the country. The 2025 African Transformation Report from African Center for Economic Transformation explored how closing gender gaps can fuel Africa's economic transformation. That means gender equality is one of the essential things we have to look at towards advancing the economy of Africa as a continent, or what they term as a dark continent. And by empowering women and promoting equitable opportunities, we advocate for policies that champion inclusive practices, where both the boy and girl child shall be taken as a priority. We must recognize that true progress So in conclusion, according to the African Transformation Index and the Gender Inequality Index, the report highlighted that persistent barriers and the policies that were analyze power, policy and perception are actionable insights for lawmakers, businesses and development partners that must harness the power of inclusion for sustainable transformation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Let's have the next candidate. Victory Middleton. Victory Middleton. All right. Sorry, I didn't get that information. We shall move to the next candidate, Boboya Moses.
Never do this.
The panelists, the leadership of GAU, invited guests from different universities, students of Uganda Martyrs University, Nkozi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobo Moses, a student and a very staunch admirer of gender equality. Ladies and gentlemen, I am exceedingly honored to give this speech before you because of the magnitude it carries. It is crucial, not only in gender basis, but is very crucial in humanity. You allow me to respectfully allude to the subject matter before us, driving socio-economic progress through gender equality. Before I proceed, allow me to briefly break down its scope. Socio-economic. We are referring at the relationship of economy and social behavior, which entails the social norms, social capital that is enriched in our population, which is inherent. Colleagues, today we have an estimated population of over 45 million people in Uganda, in which 51% of that population are women, and about 49.1% of the population are male. That is a potential that we are looking at. I would like us to picture gender equality not only in sex basis, but the potential it carries in the drive for socio-economic progress. When we look at the poverty index, most of our states in East Africa, they are termed to be the third-class nations, the developing countries, because of the potential that we have not incorporated into our system. A few portion of our gender is actively involved in productivity, leaving out a very big portion from the information I give. 51% of women, if they were involved in productivity that is mechanized and they are fully supported, the contribution to socio-economic progress will be immense compared to the status quo that we have today. While gender equality refers to the state of equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities for women, men, girls, and boys. Colleagues, we will do a disservice to ourselves if we only focus on women, leaving out the men, boys and girls who are potential men and women of our states. I therefore pray that for any government or for any society or organization, it is therefore prudent that deliberate efforts be made to accommodate the girls, to accommodate the boys, that in a near future, these boys will turn to be the people that we rely on. Ladies and gentlemen, the question that comes to mind is, why gender equality a determinant for socio-economic progress? Do we have other alternatives? Or we feel this is our social capital that we need to uphold and invest in it? What comes to mind is we are looking for equal rights, equal opportunities, equal treatment in access to education, employment, healthcare, treatment with dignity and respect, freedom from discrimination and violence to all, being a male or a female. We are all equal before man and even before God. Now, there is this distinction that I would like to bring to our notice. The notion of equal rights, it doesn't entail that a woman should be a man. It doesn't entail that a girl should be a girl per se. But the notion of gender equality is on the basis of acknowledging the different potentials that both men and women hold. And if these potentials are utilized, this potential will drive us in our pursuit for socio-economic development. Let's imagine that the highest population we have are women. And if we decide to have policies that doesn't enhance equity, doesn't enhance equality, and we raise the women, we are likely to be confronted with imbalance in the near future. And that's something that is very crucial that we need to distinguish. It is not absolute equality per se to change your gender, but equality in a sense of a potential that each and everyone carries, that should be given an opportunity, that should be protected, and should be utilized for common good. In pursuit of this topic, we acknowledge the existing stereotypes and bias that limit opportunities and perpetuate inequality. Besides, discrimination and violence on women, girls, boys often face, which prevents them from achieving their potential. Colleagues, you bear witness with me that the stereotype, our women, even men are not exclusive in this. They are men that barely speaks out, and they are stepped on. You bear witness. You have stayed with them. They are men that are assaulted, but because of the stereotype they carry, they can't speak out. Likewise, women. A woman can be raped, but a woman can't speak out, simply because of the stereotype that they are carrying. And we therefore acknowledge these setbacks. But the intention now shouldn't be lamenting on the setbacks. The intention now should be the existing policies are there. In 1997, the national gender policy was passed out here in Uganda, and it was revised in 2007, particularly to empower and have deliberate efforts to empower girls and women in school. And as such, we have registered numerous achievements along that line. Now, the challenge here is that we have underlying issues and that are now hindering, not the granting of the equal opportunity platform. The platforms are already there. When you look at our legal framework, we have them under Chapter 4 on Bill of Rights, entirely guarantees the notion of equity. But the only thing that is lacking are the setbacks that we have not looked at. Can we look at the setback? We have a good number of women outside there. What would have been the problem that has hindered them to suffice on the money market? What should have been that problem that has hindered them to progress with their education? Those should be the issues that should be handling. Otherwise, the granting of these equal rights are fully in our legal framework. The only thing are only setbacks that need to be evoked in order to bring people on the same page. Allow me to pause this. The question is, what went wrong that we found ourselves in a status quo that we felt sort of mainstreaming and upholding equality? Colleagues, allow me to conclude that in a bid to foster and champion gender equality in driving socio-economic progress, no gender should be left out. No gender should be left out. Failure to do so, we shall be perpetrators of inequality, but not gender equality. It is very, very crucial. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah.
Thank you. We shall have the next candidate, Isiga Veronica.
Oh, is it?
Hello, ladies in the house. I would like to pose a question to ask. Are we disabled? Why are they victimizing us all the time? Anyway, my name is Isiga Veronica. I am a law student in year 2. As I said, I am a law student here at Uganda Matters University in Nkozi, and I am a resident of Ibanda district, but I came to study from here in Impigi. Therefore, I'm a Munyama. But I traveled right from Western to come here and start showing that I'm fighting for that inequality that everyone is posing on the women. I have a simple CV about me that is mainly about this topic. I am the Secretary of Electoral Commission here. I am the Law Society President here. And for your own information, I participated in the pulling of, what is it, the rope? We had a law gala, and I participated in tug of war as the lady, which shows that women are not disabled. Stop over victimizing women. It's not the way things go. And the women here, why don't you stand up? Stand up to what you can do. Stand up to show them that even the men themselves can cry on stage. Haven't you seen them? Haven't you seen women who have taken up more rights than the men? Haven't you seen TV shows showing some men crying that they are suffering domestic violence? Who beats them in those homes? They are the women. They are also suffering the domestic violence. Let us stop thinking that women are the ones who are suffering under men. No, it's very bad to find that we're being victimized all the time about gender equality and gender inequality and all that. I am here not sympathize with the women, because any woman who stands out brings out the fact that a woman can manage. But a woman who does not stand out to come and shows that she's like any other man who is there seated in the background. You understand? So I will start by telling you the meaning of social economic progress, basing on our theme, which is driving socio-economic progress through gender equality. And what is it? What is socio-economic progress? It refers to the improvement in the socio-economic well-being of individuals, communities, and societies. And I want to give you the definition of gender equality. It refers to the principle that individuals, regardless in all aspects of life, there is nowhere where and the very first speakers spoke of Rosa Parks. She did something on 1st November 1955, and after 47 years, I was born, showing I was born on a day of gender equality. I was so pleased, by the way. So, and my point is, can a country move with one side, or can a bird fly with one wing? No, we cannot always still want to prove women as if they're not being seen. We want that gender equality. If you're giving a lady a job, give it to her because she has qualities, not because she's wearing a skirt. There is nothing under her leg is going to drop because other men work well and the other women don't work well. We are all equal. If it's about that we have that time for giving birth, the leave time, what's wrong with it? It's our privilege. We're increasing on the population. We are going on that leave to bring up the nation, to make it higher, not that we are being vulnerable in producing. No, let's not make it a bad thing. If you're breastfeeding, do you know how much those people that can't produce want to breastfeed? It is a privilege. Take it, grab it. If the men cannot do it, it's their loss. They can never have a leave. So let's not think that the giving birth leave is, oh, it's so bad that I will leave my job. Who says it's a privilege to rest? Don't tell me that one that I am getting a leave and I may lose my job. If I lose it, it's fate. If you are working well as a woman, actually they wait for your leave to end and you come back to the job. Don't use it as a bad thing to victimize us. We are as much equal as the men. And the other part is the gender equality is not just about justice. It's like it is the engine of economic and social transformation. Imagine having the same equal people in your company. And by the way, you must realize what a man does, a man can do even much better. That saying didn't come from nowhere. There must be smoke where fire is coming from. You understand? There is a person who stood here and said that Robina, the Prime Minister, went abroad and she was recognized as the most influential, and there is no man who has ever been recognized. The women in the house clapped for it. We were recognized for the first time. No man has done it before, but we have. Actually, I was saddened when I saw only Patience Michelle standing here as a female. I was saddened where I was. Where are the girls? We should be the ones standing here to show them that we can do better. You understand? And I am here representing Nkozi. Here I am as a female. It's not that there is any man inside me. Hey! There is a minister of gender who was on TV. I can't remember the time, but she talked about how the males have been neglected to the point that they have resorted to drug taking, alcoholism, because they no longer care about them. Let's educate girl child, let's educate girl child everywhere. Why should you be sympathized? Do you have anything dropping on you? No. If you have gone on your periods, wear your pad and move. What is wrong with it? You can wear the same pants and climb up there and put that wire. What is wrong? Equality is not just about women. It is about all of us in here. If you have your brother behind there who is even fearing to stand out, come here and even give a speech like this, normal speech on student basis. Then they raise me later as the MP of my district and you're like, oh, Museveni is improving women. Where? Those women have the essentials. Those women have the qualities. And by the way, if you have a sister who has never gone up to be seen anywhere, that's why they are not recognized. They may Matembes, the Rabbi Banjas, no one has written for them applications to come and contest anywhere. They write them themselves, come out and speak, show the people that they have the capability to stand. As I've given you the example that they are those men that are suffering domestic violence. Do you think they can't beat? It's because the women are showing them that actually it's not me who can be beaten. You can also face it. That is what I'm trying to show you. So do not always think, actually, we should ban it. Not every speaker should come here and speak about girls. There was this World War II when men were almost all finished in the war and they requested the women. You see, second option, eh? They requested the women as the second option. Come up and fight for your countries. The men are all killed. They came up, and I want to say that what men can do better, the women can do more. I want you to go and watch a movie called The 688, 1943. It was, the men failed to sort out letters that were to be taken in the war, and they called out the girls, the women in the country to come and do that job. Guess what? Within just 2 months, the women were able to do what men had failed to do in all years. What men can do, what men can do, the women can do even much far better. So I will end my speech. I've not come here to discourage that women can't be pitied or something, because nevertheless they were created second. But they should stand out for themselves, because the world only cares about results. It does not care about where you came from. And I will end by saying, let's empower all the genders, that we can see progress in our economy, so that we can see progress in our social lives as Uganda. So for equality, we stand as Ugandans. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. That was Aisiga Veronica. We shall have Semper Joseph.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon to you all. I cannot use this microphone. I'm not very good at microphones. I'll just drop it down accidentally. So I pray that my voice can be heard all the way until there at the end. So, first of all, before, I would like to use some of my time to thank everyone who has come in front here to speak, and everyone who is going to come after me. It is not simple to come in front here and have your speech scrutinized by other people. It is quite difficult. And I wish we can take a time to clap for all the speakers today, please. Still though, there is a speech contest, and there is a speech contest about driving socio-economic progress through gender equality. Now, everyone has talked about so many versions of these things, and I'm just going to summarize what I think a lot of you have been talking about, that I can bring it back home. I think we've all talked around the issue. Yet we have not actually had the time to talk about the actual issue, ladies and gentlemen. There are three key things we must put forward, and I'm going to help you go through all three of them. The first is representation. Women are represented in our society today. They are here, aren't they? So women are around, the women are there, but then it brings us to number two, integration. We have more women in universities right now than men. We have more women in entry-level positions in the country than men. It seems that we have reached the promised land. It seems we have reached where we wanted to reach. But it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like we've reached where we're supposed to reach. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you an example of Scandinavian countries, the countries of Norway, Sweden, and so on and so forth. In these countries, they have gone the farthest in the world in trying to solve the issue of gender equality. And do you know what it is in Scandinavia? There are more men doctors than female doctors. There are more women nurses than male nurses. What they ended up finding in their studies was that when you pay a doctor as much as you pay a nurse, women are comfortable being nurses. They found out that when you pay women who are cleaning as much as the men who are cleaning, women are very okay cleaning. There is nothing wrong with that. And I bring this to this situation, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we had representation, integration. This is the third thing, and I call it the third frontier, harmonization. If you do not listen to a thing I say after here, just remember that word, harmonization. Because now that women are in the workplace, now that men and women are in the workplace integrated together, we need to harmonize. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not something new. And I feel that all the speakers today have been saying it like harmonization is some amazing thing that we are going to do in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had these things for time immemorial. The difference comes about when we actually remember what are we harmonizing towards. What we are harmonizing towards, ladies and gentlemen, is something that I would like to call the beautiful African family. And these are not my words. These are the words of my predecessor, Sir Apollo Kagwa. In his book, Kings of Buganda, that he published over 100 years ago, he said that the fundamental unit of the Chiganda, of Buganda, is the Chiganda family. It is what we strive towards. It is what we exist to do. Men and women are not around working because everyone wants to be on top of another. We all want to provide for our families. We all want to have the ability to provide for those that we love. And when you look into this idea of harmony, what I call harmony, the final frontier, is that in our workplaces, though women are present in the workplaces, though women are around in the workplaces, we still find people complaining, how can we hire her? She's going to go for maternity leave. How can we hire him? His department is full of women. How can he work with the women? Such questions are because we have men and women integrated. We do not have them harmonized. Harmonization, I hope you will allow me to first explain this to you. Harmonization doesn't mean that as we have a female judge and male judge. That is not simply harmonization. Harmonization means understanding that there are times when you'll have to give leeway for the woman and give leeway for the men. That is harmonization. And it is not this thing of coming and saying here today that women have this, or women are better, and men are better, and women are better, those things. Those are childish things, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm being honest. What it is that we're coming and saying ourselves that if I have a female compatriot, I happen to be the speaker of the Law Society and my president is a woman, I will never say that because she's a woman and she has something that she's doing, and now I cannot move or bend. It is actually saying that I will bend because the woman has bent, and the woman will bend because the man has bent. And this is how we can bring together harmony. We brought up the issue, my African speaker brought up the issue of World War II. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to indulge you in that statement. In World War II, because of the men of going into war, women came into the workplace and had to replace the men in the workplace. And it was a beautiful thing. However, what they did not talk about is what happened after the war ended. Did the men die, all of them? They came back. And they came back to a society that had moved past them, did not care about them, did not care about what they wanted. And it is at this time that we see the rise of organized crime in those places. This came because those societies sought to integrate. They did not seek to harmonize. Harmonization, and I will emphasize on this, harmonization is not simply about having men and women in the same places, practicing the same things, having them saying that congratulations, we have a female president. That is not what we are looking for. What we are looking for is an idea that our African forefathers and our African foremothers all knew to be true, that a man and a woman need to work together to build something beautiful. And we are taking that out of the home and bringing it into our common workplaces. I am not good at giving very long speeches, so I will begin to conclude. So, the last thing is simply to all of you here, a call to action. The things that I've said here today and the things we've talked about here today are so delicate and so important. And the world might not be ready for these ideas. They might seem too radical. But when it comes to my hope about harmonization, I put to you this, that many years from now, when we reach this beautiful utopia that so many of these speakers have talked about, that when we reach this beautiful land when men and women are truly equal, when we have understood what harmonization is and have brought it to the forefront of our thinking, of our politics, and of our economic policies, then and only then can we sit down and think that these ideas began on a small hill, in a small university, atop a hill in the Pearl of Africa. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Thank you. That was the speaker from Vijay Ramayana University, Kosi campus. We shall have orally Brian Derrick.
Friends, colleagues, and all with protocol observed. Our theme is driving socio-economic progress through gender equality. Personally, I've summarized it into 3 words: the untapped potential. Friends, we stand at a very pivotal moment. The world's economy is evolving, and truly to thrive, we must unlock the untapped potential. This evolves all around us, around the whole world, that we must unlock if we are to achieve anything from the increasing world population. It's not just a matter of fairness, it's a matter of sound economics. With the population of women worldwide nearing half of the total world population, and that in Uganda, slightly above 50%, that means we have more women than men in this country. This should trigger a lot in our minds. I guess it hits a lot at your mind. It hits a lot in my mind. It's not only about you, it's all about us. The unemployment rate in this country, we have that of men at 10% and that of women at 14%. This shows there is a lot to do so as to achieve gender parity. There is a lot we need to harness from this untapped potential. Consider this. When women have equal opportunities to education, they really have the knowledge. This shall help them, not only them, their families, gain sources of employment. They reinvest in their economies. Why? Look at successful companies worldwide. Abbott, Johnson & Johnson, Unilever, name them. Most of these successful ones have more than 50% of their population or of their governing boards as women. Why? They realize the potential of women, not only as workers, but as administrators, as managers, and holding very many posts in these global brands. We cherish them because they have women in leadership. Just investing in women does not only help us, but the returns are exponential. Not for them, for us all, their wives, their husbands, their children, their families, and everyone. This shall lead to improve of health conditions, the standards. These women would be able to know what will help their children, their families. They could be able to tell when their children are down, they are sick, and what they could do for them. They look at issues as nutrition as key. Why? We invested in them because we invested in education. Yet, barriers persist, gender pay gaps, limited access to capital, societal biases in form of employment, in education, and in leadership. big loss, not only to the women, to us all. Essential for building inclusive markets. When women have equal purchasing power, they will invest a lot in our country. Why? They are the ones who drive families at home. They know what the home needs. They know the opportunities they can do. First is investing in education. If we are to fight this,
Banana. The contest has become a balu, the quick and crank, but all along, all protocol observed. A good evening to you all. Good evening, my fellow Grivalians, estimated guests, ladies and gentlemen in your different positions. It's a deep honor and humble gratitude to stand before you today on this great institution located in Nkozi, that is in PG district, and the country it is Uganda, and our beautiful campus, Nkozi, lies along the equator, about 85 kilometers southwest of Kampala. Its geographic coordinates, it is 0.003611 latitude and a 32.0.1 equatorial on the longitude. And this university is committed to academic excellence, ethical leadership, and social responsibility. It is a place where we are taught not only to learn, but to lead and serve. Values are very important to fight for gender equality. And we see that among the words that are in the context of the Uganda matters, we believe that in wisdom and virtue, we lead the world. Before I continue with my speech, I would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Mpongo Peter Clever, a student at UMU, Ruhaga. I'm offering a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, and I'm in year 1. So as I introduce my speech, we see that the journey of a million miles, it begins with a one step. And today we are taking yet another step with a long but a noble journey to build just inclusive and prosperous society. As leaders in the making, we must recognize that gender equality is not a woman's issue, it is a human issue. It is not a favor to be granted, it is a right to be respected. And this was said by Kofi Annan, the former UN Secretary General, and he once said, there is no tool for development and more effective than empowerment of the women. I think this should sink in you. Additionally, what I want to say, we see that in the course of the African nationalism, we see that there were very many factors that contributed to the rise of African nationalism. At first, we saw that men were influential in those activities, but we see that after the coming in of women, it was superb. That's why I agree with my colleagues' statement that what men can do, women can do better. How? This is how. We see that in the resistances in Africa, that was spearheaded by men. At one moment they failed. Do you know why? Because for the whites that were here, they could not ally with some men that were rebellious. But after carrying out the women involvement or uplifting the status of women in these resistances, women acted as spies, and we see that many countries in Africa, due to the women involvement in the resistances, were able to get independence. That's why all countries in Africa, we address as our states as motherlands. It's that she, because of the uplifted status of women. As I continue, as I begin my speech, I I want to begin. I would like to mention the work of the great thinker Amartya Sen. This one was a Nobel Prize winning economist. He wrote an important essay entitled "More than 100 million women are missing." In this essay, he explained that in many parts of the world, millions of women are missing from society due to discrimination, poor health, and lack of education. He believed that the gender inequality is not just unfair, it actually slows down the country's development. He also said that real progress is when both men and women are free to live the lives they value. This means that true freedom and development must include gender equality. Colleagues, I tell you that in Uganda we see that the population of women is greater than men. And we see that if we decide that one thing remember in the beginning, a man was created and later a woman came in. And we see that we cannot only rely on one side of men, because men fail. But the only way of making a man a powerful man is having a woman. That's why they make a phrase that behind a successful man, there is a woman. So on that point, I conclude that with double efforts, we can have a superb state. We see that those countries that you call the first class countries or the first world, it's because that they were able to recognize the impact that women have been, the impact women have brought to their countries. And that thing, it is got from Africa. Africans, we are rich, but just that we don't know how rich we are. That's why you see those whites always that everything they are always creating, they bring it to Africa. Because we have a conducive environment better than them. That's why in very many cases, you're always seeing them coming to us because of what we have. Because you cannot say you can be poor, yet you're always having those people coming to you. Because in Africa, we have the biggest market. Just imagine one day, Africa becomes self-sustained. A white man will fall. So I continue saying that with the empowerment of women, working together with men, we can boost our economies, guys. I want to also continue. Now let us understand what gender inequality means. Simply means giving both man and woman equal chances to succeed in life, to study, to work, to lead and dream. As the former UN Secretary, as the former United Nations Secretary, General Ban Ki-moon once said, achieving gender equality requires engagement for women and men, girls and boys. It is everyone's responsibility. So I pose a question. How does gender equality help to improve the society and the economy? We see that when girls get the same education as boys, we know the number of ideas and solutions in our schools and workplaces. According to the report of the UNESCO, every additional year of education of girls increases the country's economic growth by 0.3%. That's how powerful education and quality can be. This message goes to the men. If you see those scholarships that are given to women and that point that is given to the women to advance in their studies at A level, don't feel jealous. It's like they are motivating them. They are motivating them that they are able to come up with those equal rights. I would not want to make long speeches, but all along I've seen few people coming up with a recommendation of how we can go on. Recommendation as with the young people, because what I know, for all what we have to do, it has to start with we. If it is not us, then no the other. You can start with that girl who's next to you, but how? We can pick out when we see unfair treatment. We encourage our classmates and friends, whether boys or girls, to follow their dreams. We can support equal chances in leaderships, clubs as we have this, the Gavel Club and the class actions. As we can treat each other with respect and fairness, remember a wise man said, and this was Nelson Mandela, freedom cannot be achieved unless the women have been emancipated from all forms of oppressions. In conclusion, gender equality is not just women's issue, it is everyone's issue. If we want our country and our communities to grow and succeed, we must work together, men to men, boys and girls, hand in hand, side by side. My name is Impungu Kakleva, coming from the Vaga campus, offering the Bachelor in Science, that is Information Technology Year 1, in Wisdom and Virtue. We need the God.
Thank you, Peter. Just like the man, he's quite a clever man. Let me invite a representative from Makerere University.
Yes, sir.
Mandini Joel Robert.
They told me to pick a side, boy child or girl child. I said no. Because development is not a dating app where you have to just choose a side or not. So today, I am here not to talk about simple things, but they had questions. Those ones that some things we don't want to listen to, but we must. Because Uganda won't rise on one leg. We need both. I am here to talk justice, to talk property rights, and if that makes anyone uncomfortable, good. Growth usually does. Jury, Senate, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joel Robert Mangeni. I'm a year 1 student of law from Makerere University. So let me preach to you. In the book of Numbers, yes, there is a gentleman. He's called Zelophehad. He was coming from a clan of the Manasseh. You hear? So at that time, he died in the wilderness. And after dying, this gentleman did not have any son. He had 5 daughters, 5. So he dies. And remember, at that time, when you die without a son, your inheritance will be given to your brothers and people around, not your daughters. So these 5 daughters of this gentleman go to Moses and tell Moses, why really would the name of our father get off the face of the earth simply because he had no son? Moses goes to God and asks God the same question. And God says that the daughters are right, that their property should be given to them. Yes? So meaning this is not a new idea, it is precedent, and it has happened for over time. It has been there. The World Economic Forum recently said that it has to take 132 years to bridge the gender gap. 132 years. Now, believe me, this is not a projection. This right here is an insult. Let me get this straight. Is uplifting the girl child against the boy child? No. I am asking you a question. Is uplifting the girl child a crime to the boy child? No. Is empowering our daughters the same as disempowering the sons? No, it isn't. So this is not a tug of war. It is not. True, girls are topping science fairs, they are winning scholarships, they are running NGOs. So boys should also listen to the narrative that gender marginalization is extended to girls is not right. And in as much as we acknowledge the natural imbalance, gender equality is a two-way path, right? It is both to the girls and to the boys. Hear me out. Funny how society treats ladies. When you go to indigenous societies, all the rural areas of Uganda, Busia, Pakwach, Adjumandi, you are going to realize that the marital age, the age at which these girls are getting married is absurd. You find an 18-year-old who has 2 kids already, and then it strikes you, and then you start asking yourself questions, how this is possible. If someone gets pregnant while they're still at school, this necessitates that they're going to drop out. And how exactly are we going to get development when these particular people are not educated? Because education alone is going to equate to development. We are talking property rights. You see, government has put in place very many things around. The position alone is feministic, if you think about it. Chapter 4 talks about human rights generally for everyone. But then ladies have a whole article about their rights in the Constitution. Do you get the judge? So what we don't want is a Uganda where girls thrive in glass towers while boys drown in silence. Boys cheer from sidelines like gender equality is for girls alone. Boys' problems are tainted to be normal, ideally in society right now. Anyway, why do we say the future is female? Why do we say the future is female? Banange, half of the future is male too. Yes? So, to conclude, there is an African proverb that a bird cannot fly with one wing. So, for social economic transformation to take place, we have to raise both the wings. Let the girl child and the boy child soar together. Let's share power, not pity. Let's give dignity, not discount. This is not feminism versus masculinity. It isn't. This is humanity. It is not a gender battle, but a national strategy. May God give us wisdom to honor both sides of the step, to build up not just one gender, but the entire generation. Comrades, we can't wait 132 years. We have to start now. We fly together. Thank you, and may the Lord be with you.
Thank you. We shall have the candidate by mentor.
I have a dream that a river that flows for one will quench all. Good evening, esteemed judges, fellow speakers. Actually, before the fellow speakers, our lovely hosts. Thank you for hosting us. A big round of applause. Enjoy the food. Yes, and of course, the patriarchy hiding in plain sight. Balaba Jemuli. My name is Paul Mutetsi Ruzindana, a 20-year-old law student at Makerere University, just in her first year, and I've been nicknamed the voice for the voiceless. Hear how loud my voice is, isn't it? Today, I speak not just from statistics, but from a reality I have lived. And the future, I refuse to accept unless it includes all of us. All of us. All 7 billion people on this planet, male and female. I want you guys to say these words after me. Bold. Bold. Strong. Strong. Courageous. Courageous. Bold, strong, courageous. Bold, strong, courageous. That is the point of our theme today. Our theme today is driving socio-economic progress through gender equality. It sounds noble, doesn't it? It sounds noble, almost believable. Like a headline written by someone who still asks, but haven't we empowered women? What more do they want? By the way. What more? Haven't we given them that 1.5? We've given them goats. We've given them on pads on Women's Day. Women's Day, they like giving out pads, by the way. It's a good... People have benefited. We are so grateful. Sewing machines to start businesses for their kids while they're 18-year-olds that are married. And we congratulate them. Start business. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not empowerment. That is not equality. And that is not socio-economic progress. We say women aren't willing to rise. But how do you rise when the world calls your claim defiance? Women that stand up, there's a way when fellow women talk behind them. Why is she shouting? Look at how she's moving. Why is she saying all that? When your effort is dismissed as emotion and your silence called dignity, because we like to call you guys. I like copying these soft female aesthetics. I actually became a quieter person because of the aesthetics, because of society. But actually, I think this organization brought my spirit back. I want to sit in a place where, because I'm silent, it's not an aesthetic, it's not society that's pleased with me being silent. Like, oh, it doesn't affect me, I'm trying to be feminine. What kind of femininity is that? I'm asking, what kind of femininity is that? Does it exist? Is it the one you want? You want your women keeping quiet because you're going around sleeping on with other women. When they speak, how dare she? But you see, women aren't afraid of the ladder. They're tired of being told that rungs don't belong to them. They need equity, we need balance. Because these ladders, you see these ladders we're told to climb each and every single day, they were built by men for men. Those are the power structures that we exist in this day. That's why some people are comfortable with the way things are. We are too strong in our comfort zone. And every round we grip is a negotiation with systems that were never designed for us in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not empowerment. It is not equality, and it's surely keeping our socioeconomic development behind. Because let's talk numbers. Since when I speak words, your ears start itching, right? Well, according to McKinsey, my research, we researched for this. Closing gender gaps in sub-Saharan Africa could boost our GDP by over $316 billion in Africa alone, sub-Saharan. Now imagine the entire Africa. But that money is left on the table. The development that we seek is stuck in traffic, stuck behind inequalities. Tell me now, is that fair? Is that fair? And look at how impoverished we are because we sit behind letting just 50% of the population, so as Peter said, women actually more, right? Letting just 50% of the population go up ahead. But when a woman farms with tools and not just hands, she yields doubles socioeconomic development. When she also owns land, food security rises, socioeconomic development. I didn't even bother defining it because I liked the way the first speaker defined it. Standards of living, better standards of living. And that is socio-economic development. Omukazi ngakwasiza degree, there's a poverty knows how to flee. She knows how to figure her life out. Oh, I'm sorry for the language, and for those that don't understand, I apologize. But when she gets a degree, yes, when she gets a degree, we move forward. Poverty kowtows to proper education. And most importantly, when she's willing, women, when you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, then the source is undeniable. That is what the previous speakers have been talking. And my dears, my lovelies, let's go on. Okay. This is a very important part. Uganda has tried. Hasn't Uganda tried? Uganda has tried. We have tried our constitution practically since feminism. We've ratified CEDAW, we signed SDGs, we signed Maputo. And do you know a fun fact? I like studying the law. We have so many statutes. There's this statute I found called the Equal Opportunities Act of 2007. Are you seeing how Uganda's law is practically feminist? Are you seeing what I'm seeing, or am I blind? Am I blind? Am I blind? Will you flash? Guys, anyway, we have that kind of act. And ladies and gentlemen, every time we silence a woman economically or strangle a man emotionally and exclude him socially, we lose the country's ability to produce a certified CEO, a leader, a politician, and a doctor even. You see, this pepper equality smells, it tastes like looks like decaf coffee. Decaf coffee looks legit, like it will keep you up the whole night before you prepare to read your entire syllabus until you take it and just sleep. It doesn't get the job done. I've tried it. It doesn't get the job done. Well, let us stop publishing glossary reports, pretending we're moving forward because we are not. And you know, I know this because I have lived it and I'm not just reading about it. As I said earlier, I am a proud firstborn daughter. I have learned how to nurture before I could even breathe, nurturing my younger siblings. A 20-year-old finding blood as I was not handed. As I said earlier, they were built by men for men. Building a life I was not born into. And I have walked into rooms I wasn't expected in and spoke like I belong there because, you know, you come to the realization that you belong. Women, all women here, you belong. And Uganda has further shown us glimpses of what's possible. From Rebecca Kadaga to Winnie Byanyima, that holds power. Let's not forget Dr. Spezio Nakazima. It was so special when a woman became the first female vice president in Africa. It should be normalized. And while we have lifted the girl child, rightfully so, we have left the boy child socially behind. We forgot the boy child. We told him to man up, gave him no space to feel, only space to dominate. Then we stand up and call it masculinity. How toxic. I'm grateful for this opportunity, but as I conclude, I have a dream. I have a dream that a value of the woman won't be weighed against her. I have a dream that villages where daughters inherit will not inherit more than silence. And to every girl told to shrink, grow louder. To every boy told to endure, feel deeper. Because Uganda doesn't just need powerful women. It needs whole people, balanced, bold, and unburdened by old rules. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Let's have our personal participant, still from Makerere University, Ismail Emmanuel.
That tries to fly with only one wing. Ladies and gentlemen, our society has tried to fly with just one wing, which is the male wing. I'm going to ask you a question once again, ladies and gentlemen. What happens to a society that tries to fly with only one wing? It flutters, it falls, doesn't it? I have so many female friends, and I have so much respect for all of you, especially the women that have learned to call men in healthy ways. Women, you're so powerful. You go through childbirth pains, don't you? My friend Stella, once you go through that pain, and they still call you soft, you can't be a leader, you can't be a business owner. Oh my goodness, how sad, how sad. As a woman with a womb, you are connected to the infinite possibility. Another human being is born through you, isn't it? Now, that void space that is infinite, that means you also have a sense of infinite possibility. You know that there is more to life. Now, men, we cannot relate to that. We cannot relate to the monthly pains that you go through. My sisters are always crying about cramps, but they still make it to class, and they do even much better, sometimes even better than us, the male. That is how strong and powerful women are, and we still call them fragile, don't we? Now, there is a societal saying that, you know, a woman makes one better, blah, 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 blah. Behind every successful man is a woman. Don't you hear such stereotypes? Well, I would like to say that women do not make a man better. A woman does not make a man better. But you see, she calls a man forward in ways that can become better, that he can become better. He shapes a man. He grooms a man. All of us have mothers, don't we? We all have mothers, don't we? That have groomed us to become, you know, this big, tall, and handsome. Ladies, am I handsome? Handsome? Well, so a lot has been said by my colleagues, by my fellow speakers, but I'll cut to the chase and say that the feminine will always be able to tap into more that is available, because they are oracles. They have been gifted. Men, let us come to conclusions that women are actually stronger than we perceive them. Let us speak truth. Countries that educate both the female child and the male child, they experience faster economic growth. Haven't we witnessed the developing countries, how they are prospering? Because you see, they're not so much, okay, at least they have gone a further step than us, that they are bringing women on, you know, on board. How many African female presidents do you know? By show of hands. But why are we denying them this? They do have the potential. Now, this does not mean that the male child is not, you know, let us not try to uplift the male child, the female child, and forget the potential of the male as well. Now, a lot of has been talked about. My fellow speakers have alluded on gender equality. They've talked about, you know, the definitions, the problems. I'm here to provide solutions. Our dear judges, fast forward. Some of the modalities that we can use to see that socio-economic growth is fostered through equality, let us rethink education. Let us rethink education, not just access to education. You know, when it comes to the cutoff points on government scholarship, you've seen that ladies have been uplifted, right? Well, so many of them are here. My friend Esther from Uganda Matters University, Nkozi campus, the main campus. You've been given access to education, haven't you been? Yeah. Now, that is not enough. Let us also think about the content of this education. All right? What are you being fed into as a female child? See, we should teach our sons that leadership has no gender. It doesn't. And also let us teach a female child that dreams do not have to seek permission to dream bigger like a male child. No, you don't have to beg for that. Stella, do you have to beg for permission? You don't. You see, we have so many textbooks in our library. But look at most of these textbooks, ladies and gentlemen. They have pictures of women wearing aprons, cultivating coffee. But why don't they show us women who are in courtrooms, who are in parliament, who are wearing lab coats? They don't show us this, ladies and gentlemen. We have to rethink the content that we are giving. We have given them access to education. Thank you so much. We have given them all this access to education, but we're not changing the content of this education, ladies and gentlemen. Second, we must rethink the participation in workspaces. We must advocate for equal pay, for equal work. Ladies are being given the same work as men, but sometimes there are salary disparities. All right? We must enforce wage transparency. We must invest in women-based small businesses. All right? We must also recognize the care that they give to the young ones of this generation. Let us, ladies and gentlemen, let us advocate for gender-based policies in government. We have the Ministry of Gender, don't we? But if I'm to ask, there's a lot that has been done, but we're also left with a bigger gap. We're left with a lot to do. There's more that we can do. Let us enforce gender-sensitive policies. Let us advocate for workspaces that protect the girl child from violences and the different society and gender-based violences that we're hearing about. Then fourth, let us shift our mindsets. Our guest of honor was here talking about extraordinary, like when you think extraordinarily, you get extraordinary results. Now we have a culture that has totally and absolutely, that is preaching that is advocating mostly for the male child, all right? Now, this should also be revised. Let the religion, traditions, all rise and challenge the unlearning. We need to relearn something. We need to unlearn the patriarchy and relearn humanity. This begins in the stories that we tell our children about women. This also, we look at the standards that we hold ourselves to. As a man, do you feel like you're better because you're a male and the female is just, you're downlooking, you're downplaying their potential? No, that shouldn't be. That is not humanity. You're underlooking another human being, sorry to say, who is even stronger than you. Pastor, because this person goes through childbirth. You can't stand that pain. We really can't. Can we? I'll leave that question to you. And then we must include women on decision-making tables. We look at women on most of decision-making tables, and most of them are denied a chance to speak. Okay, when even they speak, they're like, you should just be pretty, serve us water, become a secretary. How about we listen to their ideas? How about we do that? Allow me conclude, Madam Timekeeper. You see, when the feminine wants more, it triggers the part of us that is scared that we can provide it. The feminine will always be able to tap into more than that is just available. They are oracles, and this is their gift. Ladies and gentlemen, let this society not only fly with one wing, but let us all rise and fly with both wings. Thank you so much. My name is Munania Ismail. I'm from the Premium University, Makerere University, pursuing a bachelor's in library and information sciences. Thank you for having us. This is a beautiful space. We love the campus. We'll probably come for my master's here. Thank you. Wait. I'm a picture. One more. You guys are not done yet. Take one. Thank you.
Thank you, Ismail.
You're welcome.
Oh,
thank you so much.
yes, we are speaking judges unfortunately for this casting result. Allow me to appreciate the next one. We have had 13 participants in total from different universities. As I mentioned earlier, we had UCU, KIU, MOOC, Uganda Martyrs University Kozi campus, and Uganda Martyrs University Ruaga campus. Please let's applaud our participants. Allow me applaud the hosts of this event, that is Uganda Martyrs University Kozi, Union Gabor Club. Let's applaud them again. Allow me to recognize a few team members we have worked with to see that this day has been a success. We had a team on the registration table. We had a team on World Fair Matters. We had a team on guests and venue. We had a team that has worked tirelessly on media. Everything that has took place in this hall or at this event has been live. And I'm sure, as you can see the comments, we have had different people subscribing from different universities and receiving this content. Please let's applaud those team members. Once again, I call upon you, all of you, to subscribe. Whoever is in this room, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Gabor Club at Gabor Port. Please subscribe. We have more content more than this, and we hope to create more content. Gabor Club looks at inspiring leadership through speech or through improvement of speech. That's why we use platforms like this to exercise or inspire leadership. I'll invite the president of Gabor Club, Bonje Ian Claudius, to have a few words to the House, who will later invite the President-elect Uganda Martyrs University to also say something.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy for this day, the Gabor Day.
Yeah, thank you once again. I'm very happy. We planned a lot for this day, and being a very new club in Uganda Matters University, we have achieved a lot. And on this day, we have achieved our mission and goal in Uganda Matters University. My name is Bwenje Ian Claudius. I'm a law student at Uganda Matters University and President Gavo Club. I would like to thank the universities that have come to participate in this speech contest. Later on, will join us in the panel discussion that was there in the morning. That's Uganda Christian University, Makerere University, Kampala International University, Uganda Matters University, Rubaga Campus, and the hosts, Uganda Matters University, main campus. As Gavo Executive, we are very proud beyond words and very grateful for the organizing team that pulled off this Gavo Day. It was a success. It was a success to us. We have achieved our goal. We are very, very grateful for every speaker who took the stage with courage and conviction, convincing us through the theme, driving socio-economic progress through gender equality. When we came up with this theme, we even laughed about it because we thought it would be very hot. But we have tried to manage the emotions, though somewhere I was very happy to see the emotions coming out because those are the things we need to work out. As Gavo Club, we inspire leaders, and as we inspire leaders, we focus on gender equality. We don't want to see many male as leaders or many female as leaders. We need it socially equal. Every gender has the courage, it has the strength, it has the intelligence to be a greater leader. Gavo Day is not just a competition. It's about connection. It's about learning from each other, pushing boundaries and finding our voices through the theme, learning how to solve some problems. And among the problems we have in Uganda is gender equality. Whether you have walked away with the trophy, we don't know who the winner is going to be. We are waiting for the winner. But I pray that we pick an insight from whatever every contestant has discussed for us. Let us learn from each other. I've learned many things, and if you are very attentive, you notice that every university had a special presentation. There is a way they brought their presentation. It was different from another university. That's why we chose to bring different universities. But just know that in this Uganda, as leaders, we are all winners because we speak and we inspire other leaders to join our cause. Let's carry this energy forward. Let's keep supporting one another and challenging ourselves above all. Let's keep speaking because our voices really matter, whether you're males, whether you're females. As long as the intelligence, the equality, the competition, the economy supports gender, and together we can win this thing up and become good leaders in the future. I really thank my executive team. It was very, very good working with them. They had the good ideas, they had the energy, the strength, and this day has been successful. I would like to recognize some of them. That is the Vice President Membership, she's already standing. She's already standing. She's called Nambasa Stella, our Right Honorable Chairperson of the 31st Union Uganda Martyrs University. I would like to also thank our Vice President of Gavo Club, Vice President Membership, that is Mildred. Please stand up for recognition. Hope you see how we are trying to make gender equality in our club. Lastly, I would like to thank another member, that is Vice President Public Relations, and that is our President-elect of Uganda Martyrs University, His Excellency Asimwe Horace Asha. Please stand up. Yeah, with all that said, I would like to stop here and invite the President-elect, who happens to be our Vice President Public Relations, to come and say a word to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening to you all. Good evening to you all. Are you happy? Where is the winning team? Who do you think is the winning team? To the participants, does the pressure increase or decrease? Okay, thank you very much. Just when I was told that I would be in for the outgoing union president, because he's not around, I tried to also create a short speech from what the speaker has presented and also my perspective. And it goes by the title, From Equality to Harmony. A new perspective. This is very short. Now, for years, the fight of gender equality has been championed with vigor, and rightly so, especially in defense of women. But today's conversations, there is a haunting silence around boys. Now, every time gender equality is mentioned, the spotlight relentlessly shines on women. And while it's important to honor the journey, I dare to ask, where are the boys in this conversation? Now, what if the movement, or what if this picture of gender equality started with boys? Would we still be mentioning women today? What if whoever came up with the vision to fight for gender equality was after the boys had been segregated and discriminated? Would the same topic, 90% of the people talking about gender equality, be on women? Now, we've pressed so hard in one direction that it's starting to feel like a virus, and it's distorting the original version, the original vision was balance. Now, the intention was never the supremacy or exclusion, it was harmony. Now, like Joseph has mentioned, integration is here, opportunities are equally distributed than before, and the campaign has achieved. So I think it's time we left aside gender equality and focused on the next campaign, which must be about harmony. Not women over men, not men over women, just humans side by side, thriving together. So that's the little I picked, and thank you very much. I would love to appreciate our panel of judges. I would love to appreciate our guest speakers in their absentia. I would like to appreciate the organizing team. You've worked so tirelessly. I remember it was some day I don't remember. We were seated in the cafeteria, something like 8 of us, Stella, Moses, and some others. And we're like, how about we bring back Gavo Club? And now, not in a year already, we've already achieved so much. So today, most of us are living our dreams. So I thank you very much. I thank the participants. I love the mock energy.
Thank you.
however much, yes, I love the vibe, I love the mock energy, I love the speeches, and I pray may the best team win. We remain Uganda Martyrs, the green campus, the most beautiful campus, the most peaceful campus. And if you would love to change campus, you're welcome. Yeah, come August, we are ready, we are waiting for you. Thank you very much. In virtue and wisdom, we lead the world. Yes? Okay. Thank you. Oh, I think you're.
But the other one is now working.
Power 6, Let's Regional 6. The long-awaited hour has come. Our judges are ready with the results. I guess they'll first maybe introduce yourself to you, Philly, who they are. And then we shall have a full review of everything they considered while awarding the different participants. And finally, we shall have the results announced to us and the awarding. We shall have our sister Samanya Dennis represent the Deputy Vice Chancellor in the working part. We shall also have His Excellency Horace Ashton to represent the host side, alongside His Excellency the Vice President-elect Emmanuel Dumba. With the pictures, we shall have the committee members or those that took part in the organizing, all the hosts, the club members. We shall take a picture with the winners or the different participants in general. Allow me to invite our judges of today. If that's not enough, let's applaud them.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to all of you. We are glad to be here with you today. And we appreciate the efforts that you put in. I'm very grateful that I was privileged to be part of this team today. Thank you. I know it's not easy to come in front here. So it does not matter how you perform, whether you are the first or whatever, but you all participated. And I know that you must have put in plenty of time, research, rehearsing, with your colleagues, giving you ideas here and there. So I'm really grateful that you dared to come up here with your presentation. I thank the audience for having been very disciplined and friendly. It's not easy. You were disciplined, friendly, and respectful. You respected the presenters, you respected yourselves. And especially the special regards to the owners of the place, the hosts, because normally you are the majority, and these others from the other schools, the other colleges are fewer. So thanks for clapping for them, thanks for encouraging each other. The important point is learn from each other and picking up, we learn from each other. So that was very good. I'll give just some few points. I'll talk about time management, not because we are late after lunch. I'm talking about time management when the speakers were presenting. Some of you began with them. That was your charming style. It is okay. We can't all have the same boring style. We come on stage in different styles. You morale boost yourself, you morale boost the team that you came with. But sometimes you can easily get carried away. You have 10 minutes, and you have spent 3 minutes or 4 explaining so many things which are not really directly a package that you're supposed to present. So be mindful. It's good to be charming, but be mindful about the purpose of the charm and how far you'll carry it. When you talk to adult audience, you have to be very careful.
Avoid being crude or in contempt or abusive to them. Sometimes when we talk to the public, we may get a bit nervous, or it's not easy to pick the right words at the right time. But avoid using words which may seem offensive, crude, because you might be misunderstood and you may anger the audience. Imagine if you are, because this is not particularly for academic purposes. I think that the first sentence is the art of speaking clearly. The subject is the art of speaking clearly, persuasively, effectively to a group of people in any setting. We can be at a wedding meeting, we can be at an LOC meeting, we can be at a conference, we may be lawyers in court, we may be at an interview. These days, interviews are quite intimidating. They are funny. So wherever we go, we have to be mindful about the style of talking. For instance, let me pick Paul Mutesi. I think if she was really addressing the political rally, people would have been very happy, and she was really very expressive. But with the due respect, this is an academic forum. She used plenty of Uganda, and I don't think that wasn't right for the forum and for colleagues who might not be Uganda. So you have to be very mindful about the purpose of the audience and your style, so that you don't offend people. The lady who said she came from Kabale was quite charming in her own style. But somehow, some of those words could have offended, could have been offensive or misunderstood. So you have to use words which, you have to be very careful not to offend your audience. Well, I don't remember her name, but I remember she said she came from Kabale. The stage display was good. Now, if you are given your stage, we have different talents, but if you can use your stage, use it. Use it. But then you have to be very careful that in the management of your space, people don't dwell so much on you to the extent that they forget the content that you want to put across. There was a presenter who kept on swinging from left to right, left to right. I know, with due respect, I normally find that presentation with pastors in a very powerful way. They walk left, they walk right. But those ones are very artful. And they mastered this for so long. And mind you, their words, they mastered the art for so long. Some of us are still learning. But if you know you're a master, use your talents. Use your talents if you know. And try them out until you find what best works for you. But if you keep on moving, and then at the end of it, when you ask somebody, what, can you give me 2 points? He can't remember, but he remembers that you kept on walking left or right or walking in front, and then the purpose is defeated. The difference between universities and other institutions is that in the university, these university students are intelligent. They are really above the ordinary. They are all intelligent people. And they have different views. My view might not be yours, but it doesn't mean that X is wrong and Y is right. And so when you come to speak, and you know, here people, democracy is also something which is highly respected in our constitution, in universities, organizations, and whatever. It's not very respectful to your colleagues if you begin saying words like, let me preach to you. It's like they don't know, it's you feeding them. You know, don't use such words. You'll make them feel or you make them criticize you unfairly or hate you when you begin saying, let me preach to you, or comments like, those speakers who are there were not serious. So you begin labeling yourself as the only serious one, and then you bring attack onto yourself. So please avoid such issues. Also, the style of talking. Since you are supposed, this is an academic forum. It's a club, but it's within that building. One of our speakers said something like, I know you use it. Unfortunately, I belong to the other region. Do you get the jazz? You see? It's right in your forum. But when you are presenting, you have to know the kind of speech you use and where you use it. It's not wrong, it's not bad, but this is an academic forum. Somebody kept on saying, banana. It's right in some other fora, but avoid mixing English because the language of communication is English. So please try to use perfect English. Try to get appeal to the best English that you know. Appeal to the art of the language that you've mastered so far and use it. Some of you are really using very, very, very good art. You did plenty of research and you tried to use. You were very artistic. It was interesting to listen to you. Like a presenter who was saying that gender sensitivity should be put in harmony. And basically this presentation was about harmonizing. I found this very quite interesting. Here, our subject was the art of speaking clearly, persuasively, effectively to a group of people in any setting. Now, many of you are using a microphone. And some of you perhaps you didn't need it. This classroom is small. This block is small. If God naturally gave you a fairly loud voice, don't use gadgets you don't need. So I like the first speaker. He was the first, he didn't need the microphone. He spoke comfortably, easily, and I have special thanks to the first speaker. Being the first is not easy. I don't know about you, but being the first is not easy. Even in primary, when we are being paid and they line you out there for the class. And then the first one, much as you go fast and the problem is over, but you say, I think that teacher's energy is still very light. Let me wait for it to reduce a bit. Being the first presenter really takes plenty of skill. I really wonder if that presenter had been like the 6th or 4th, I think you would have got more energized, felt more confident. After seeing the people swaying off the stage, and you would also have used these talents better. So I really thank you for having had that stamina to be the first and for having presented that. It's good to be artistic and charming, but be careful not to overdo it and not to be offensive. But it's good. Use your space. Like the last speaker, the handsome man. That's what he called himself. He said I'm the handsome man. It is nice sometimes, but if you are misunderstood, you get married. So this handsome man really utilized this stage well. He began from the audience, theater style, began his submissions up to the stage, very free. Used his space, stage down, everywhere. Very comfortable. He It's good, but we all have different styles. Find a style where you feel more comfortable and able to pass over the information the way you want it. I thank all of you. It was nice. It was good being here with you. Thank you for supporting each other. Thank you for the respect you've given each other. God bless. I've forgotten the obvious. You see, that is the problem. I'm Sise Kauma. I'm a lawyer. I do several things. I'm also a farmer. But you know.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Sise Kauma. We're going to invite Mr. Mudasi Robert for the long-awaited hour. Please let the pressure.
I'm nervous already because of what I have here. I want to use the microphone. I'm a teacher, and a teacher. And I've been at it for the last 40 years. So I'm actually here not just to deliver the results, but to thank you for participating. We had a very good event last year. This has beaten it all. And we are lost for who to choose, actually. We have the best three, but we said, no, we should have two more special mentions because of the quality of presentation. So I thank all the presenters. I thank the management of Uganda Matters University for this event. I know it won't stop here. Gabo, yes, on top. Oh. Now I'll first go through our score guide and what we based on to score you. But I'll first talk about dressing. I thank all of you that you picked the most appropriate dressing. I know many of you are now thinking, maybe this was a bit of my wife was pretending that I cut off my body.
You want to zoom?
Yes. So you should always dress appropriately for the right audience. Yes. Daisy disappointed me. I was supposed to present a visual aid here. Yes? We talked about under the scorecard. There was a section where you're supposed to have visual aid. I didn't see that here, but I saw that through our keynote speaker. Visual aid when we are speaking. So let me go through the areas that we scored. Enunciation was the first one. Clear and distinct speaking. That was 15 marks. Clarity. Yeah. If you are not clear even with very bright ideas, very excellent ideas, they will fall flat. So you had to have clear and distinct speech. And then pronunciation. I know we have interferences from our mother tongue. I included, yes, but try to fight it as much as possible. Okay, go with the general Ugandan pronunciation, it's okay. But if you can imitate the native speakers of the language, that's the best. And this one carried 10 marks. Now let me make a point here big point. Unfortunately, Uganda Matters University took unfair advantage of these 2 points. How? They were using, see, there were some candidates here who presented very well, but the problem was this. We couldn't hear the words. And they lost much. Using this technology. So if this one voice, don't rely on this. Then we had inflection. Inflection is variation in pitch and tone. Pitch, the height of the way you raise and lower your voice. It depends on the message you're giving out. Or I'm so sad. I'm so. I mean, the pitch and tone. Your tone dictates the mood of the crowd. So use it carefully. And that one carried 10 marks. We want you to vary your emotions, your feelings, your anger, your happiness. By the way, I saw a lot of anger in the presentation. We're talking about something positive, very positive example, but there was a lot of anger. We want you to vary your feelings, your emotions. He talked about contempt. By the way, let me introduce her better. A lawyer. A lawyer. Who is a lawyer? A lawyer is a person who is supposed to effectively use speech to save the client from being hung. Yes. If the lawyer fails to be an effective speaker, an orator, the person who knows the choice, the right choice of words in the right places, then the client is going to be hung. Yes. So it is a practical skill that you must be an effective speaker. And this is what we are trying to nurture here. Then cadence, rhythm and pacing. The rhythm and pacing. You're talking about something, an action, very fast action. And when they beat him and then he collapsed. Really? So you should fit your rhythm and pacing depending on what you are talking about. That's cadence. And this carried 10 marks. Then you have diction, the choice of words and phrasing. The phraseology matters a lot. If you're talking about gender equality, socio-economic development, I want to know that you have mastered the words that the general or the experts in that field use. Because this is academic now. So, choice of words and phrasing. You were a lawyer? Okay, many of you I know, you read things fall apart, and there is this man who came to you, and he was using is and was. And the villagers were so annoyed. Why?
Is and was.
Because it was expected to have that the Englishman's language that is and was. In a field where you need to prove that you read, you researched well, then we expect you to use right words. Then we had, and that carried 10 marks, then we had unity. Unity, to relate whatever you're saying. All the example, all the grammar here should relate to the question, the set question. What we're talking about. So we were also looking for unity. And that carried 10 marks. Then we had coherence and fluency. Ease of presenting your idea. Some of you started so well with fire, then in the middle you were busy reading. The ease with which you express yourself. That is fluency and coherence, atmosphere of information, that's 10 marks. Then support. Support your arguments. Support your point of view. Support what you decided to think. So, support means giving right quotations, giving examples, giving data, statistics, references, visual aids, and so on. Then, the last one, that support was also 10. The last one was delivery, the general delivery, the general package of your speech. And this one carried confidence, projection of voice. You can imagine you're in a tiny room, a tiny cubicle, and you're saying, "Good morning." Members outside will come and people say, what will happen? Immediately they're going to go to university council and the dean of students. And before you know, the ambulance is here to take you to hospital. So please project your voice according to the space you have. This one spoiled presentation for so many people because of that. Then you have body language. Body language, you have gestures, facial expressions, posture, signals, cues, and relate all these to the audience. You have good weight. There was a gentleman here, and I wrote down very good to be a priest. Now, don't misunderstand me. He was delivering rolling, some pace, some rhythm, some tone. My goodness. Even people who read out death announcements are better. You Then, lastly, as judges, we would have expected you to give us your drafts before the contest. Why? Because we're supposed to cross-check facts. Don't give us those percentages that are not cross-checked. Yes, because the last point here for judges, cross-check facts in pre-submitted speech to ensure accuracy. Deliberate falsification is also part of plagiarism. I was supposed to track that. But we left it at the discretion of the individual judges. Yeah. Now, lastly, my fellow judge talked about time. What does time mean? Time is money. Somebody said yes. Time is money. Well, time means that you are organized. Some of you failed because you did not keep to the allotted time. It means you were not organized such well. You didn't effective public speaking. You should rehearse and know the time allotted to you is enough for the written down and the words you yes, for the delivery of the speech. Then time also means confidence. You are confident of what you prepared. That is enough. It will send you through. Now it reminded me in this very hall when people are writing the examinations. And you said, time up, and they are still writing as they come to deliver their script. You are not organized. You are not prepared for the time given to you. Then time also means respect for others. you are not respecting other people who have kept their time. Yes, the speech contest starts at 9 and you come at 9:30. It was raining. No respect for other things. Time also means fairness. Be fair to others. Now, may I pronounce the results? Yes. That's what we've been waiting for. Now, as I pronounce these results, was many great speakers. Only a few things failed them. If you want to know what failed you and what worked for you, please come. I have the notes here. For each of you, what went right and what went fairly wrong. Yeah. So, I'm supposed to announce the winner now. Yes. I'll start with special mentions. Special mention, that is the fifth best. That is, these are actually tied. Maganda Harrison and Asimwe Dan. With a score of 83%. So the other mention who is below them, because this one is tied, is Mugisha from UCU. Magana Harrison is UCU, Asimwe Dan's KIU. Yes. Then we have the third best. It's lovely. All students love scores. It's the best. You give out assignments, but once the results out, you see a whole crowd coming to you. Yes. So, in number 3 is a gentleman from MUK doing law. With a score of 84%. Yes. She actually was very comfortable here, more comfortable than I am here. Yes. Giving us examples from the known, the unknown, giving us analogies, anecdotes, everything was a nice package. And in number 2, this one should have been our winner. What was the problem? Use of local language. He scored 89. That's Umutis. She was very good at display. She was very good at content. Very good at delivery. One problem was that you saw too much Uganda. That means you didn't respect your international audience. Yeah. She tried even to apologize, but it didn't work. Yes. Then our winner was a man who filled this stage with his presence. I don't know what it's to do with size. examples to support his presentation. Wow. He picked a lot from what you were saying, and he used it to his advantage. This is the last I want to, the last point I want to bring out. The fact that when we're talking about effective communication, well, somebody displayed it. The body. It's also part of your communication. So thank you so much.
Sister Dennis alongside the judges for the awarding part. With Michelle Passion. Valeria. Assez madame. Maganda Harrison.
Take a shot and make me hit her. I say to that day, I have been
This has been our second edition of our speech contest, like we can just say we had our first edition last semester, and this has been the second edition. And we promise to continue cooperating with you at University, and especially as Gabo Club. We also urge you to always come up to this invitation to come by. My last remarks, we thank you all our participants, the organizing team, and everyone that has played a big role. We thank our judges. We thank Sister Denise Samanya for being with us to the end. We thank everyone that has seen that this event is a success. Lastly, as we come to the close of our event, we are having our Gabo Club running tonight. Please log in and listening and sending your submissions. Here we talk about leadership. That's what we do at Gabo Club. Gabo Club, inspiring leadership. Have a great evening. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.